That'll do. That'll do. Come here. All right, I'm gonna go through explaining outside and inside flanks. It's a topic that we spend quite a little time on at clinics. I get asked about it a lot. How do you remember? What are they? And how do you remember? So your outside flanks are your gather. That's come by and away to me. Your cattle should be on the outside, bringing your stock back to you, or putting them in a position to bring them back to you. So come by is your dog moving in a clockwise direction. Away to me is counterclockwise. So I think the easiest way to remember that I've heard of is to take your hands and make two C's, and whichever one is the correct C, that's your come by, and that's clockwise. The wrong C, the backward C, is counterclockwise away to me. So I think if you can remember that, it'd be pretty easy. That's how a friend of mine, JR, explained it to me, and I think that's a pretty simple way to figure everything out. So that's your outside flank. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send Trip out, and I'll have him show you come by away to me. You'll hear me say out also. Out is to move away and off of stock. So we use that a lot on the outrun gather. And then there, which is a stop command for me. Doesn't mean they have to lie down. I just want them to stop. Usually that means we're going to change direction or something. You'll see Trip. He lies down most of the time. That's kind of how I taught him. But anyhow, it doesn't really matter. When I say down or lie down, I expect them to hit the dirt. But until then, I just want them stopped and holding their position. So anyway, all right, let's do these outside flanks. Trip away to me. Out. There. There. Good boy. All right, so he went away to me counterclockwise. So when I stopped him, or when he came into the cattle, he was at 12 o'clock. I'm at 6. And so he bounces naturally that way. It's the way he's been taught. So good boy, walk up. Steady there, lie down. That's what you want to see. So Trip, come, or here, there, lie down. Good. So what I want him to do now is I'm going to send him to come by, but I'm going to have him push these cattle away from me. So I want him to do an inside flank, which is come, which is still the clockwise direction. Trip, come, Trip, come by, right there. Good. Walk up. There. That'll do. Come here. Come here. Good boy. So now I'm going to send him on an outside flank on come by, and then we'll go to I'll explain the inside flanks a little bit more on how you get them. The most important thing is the outside flank, but Trip, come by, out. Now he should work clockwise, and he will. Out. There. Lie down. Good. Now it doesn't matter which way I go. If I step towards him, if I walk clockwise, my dog should walk clockwise. Come by. There. Good boy. There. Out. There. Good. Away. No, away to me. Out. There. So that's all outside flank. We're going to do inside, like I want to clean this corner out right there, lie down. I'm going to call him back to me, and I want him to come in a clockwise position. So come is the clockwise inside flank. Here is the counterclockwise. Again, with come, your hands, you should be able to figure that out. You're still going clockwise. So this is something we do after a pup's got through his head on come by and away to me. Those are the most important ones. So Trip, come. Trip. Good. Come by. There. There. Walk up. There. Now I want him to push these cattle, so I'm actually going to say that word. I want him to push them away from me. So I tell him, when I start training, he knows, but if I'm starting a new pup, on driving or inside flanks between me and the cattle, that's always been the cardinal sin for the first, 10 months of their life. They don't get between me and livestock. So now we're going to teach that dog the opposite thing. So I put the word push in so they know that's the opposite of my get back, which is for them to stay between 10 and 2. Well, on the push, they should stay between 4 and 8. So everything really in a circular fashion based off of your clock. So that should, good boy, that'll do. Come here. That'll do. And the that'll do is to quit working. We're done. We got the job done that we needed. So if I wanted him to stay, something else I teach, I should say, something else I teach my dogs, Trip has it. I don't do with my started dogs for other people because it complicates things a little bit. But I put a back off on them. So Trip away, out, there. Now get out. I'm going to let him gather these to me, outside flank again, which is away to me. Now he should stay at between 10 and 2. I shouldn't have to tell him anything. Get back, if he outflanks me, get back means he needs to get back to 12 o'clock position or closer to it. So bring him on. Right there. Now if you're sorting cattle, lie down, through a gate, or you're counting your cattle through a gate out in the pasture, this has always been a handy command for me. They start filtering through too fast or coming on too fast, you can back your dog off and then have him walk back up steady again to put more pressure on. That slows your cattle going through the gate down. But this is one that's handy for me. You can do it without too, but Trip, back off, back off, back off. And they should pick up and turn away. Back off. Right there. Good boy. So that's how that works for me. Now I just took all the pressure off these calves, which, if you're out in the pasture, that one's real handy for me. But now I'm going to turn him into, on an outside flank, a come by. Trip, come by. Right there. So I'm the center of the clock now. Zone for the most part. Trip, come by. Good boy. Once you get practiced on this, remembering what's what, right there. Now I want him to inside and hold these cattle in the corner for me. Trip here. Trip here. 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 Away. Right there. Good. Walk up. Push. There. Come. Come. Hut. Come. Right there. Good. I just want him to hold these cattle. Trip. Come. Trip. Come by. Right there. Good. Trip here. Right there. So there you go. There's your inside flanks. He's between me. If I want him out of there, then, I'll send him again. Away to me. Trip. Away to me. Out. Have him bring him back to me. Attaboy. Bring him on. Out. Right there. So there you go. There's your inside and outside flanks. Come by. Away.